Hi, Christen.
Hi.
The last time we talked to you was the game at Fullerton. Now you're a couple more games into your comeback. How are you feeling? What's the emotions like, especially today coming back to BMO?
It's so special to be back here for my first official home match. It's been quite the journey from the last time I remember suiting up and playing in a game here, and I must have been here for a couple dozen matches watching from the stands. There's no place like this. This is, the most amazing fans and community, and so to be back and playing for everybody again, it's been a joy. I mean, you can probably see it on my face when I'm playing. It's just like I'm ear to ear smiling because I'm just able to slow down a bit and, feel it and smell it.
Hey, Christen.
Hi.
Coming back from so long off, there's obviously a journey now to get back to where you want to be. Where do you feel you are on that?
Taking it day by day. I think the same as it kind of always is, I think no matter where you are in your journey, you have like this perspective of like the gap between where you are and where you think you can be. That's how I felt at the very top of my game. It's like, then can I be the best player in the world? Then can I score even more goals, right? And it was no different through, through the course of my recovery, if it was like getting strong, okay, great, now you have to get fit, okay, great, now you have to get some technique back. And so there's always a yearning for improvement. I definitely feel like I have like young legs, like a young Bambi, where I'm out there and I'm playing these games in my mind of what it feels like to be at this level, to play at this speed. And I think often just with my personality and how I am, I feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be and exactly who I am. I know what kind of player I am. I never missed a beat in terms of like how I like to receive the ball, how I know I can score goals. It didn't take long for me to feel strong and confident in that. So I think the big things for me now are getting fitness so I can get cleared for more minutes and game experience so that I can feel more confident and stronger out on the field.
Hello to both of you. Congratulations, first of all. I'm just going to veer a little bit. We've been able to talk to some of the younger players on the team. I just wanted to get your perspective about working with such a young generation of players, particularly the strikers. They both mentioned how you all are very good mentors, but what has your approach been as leaders, particularly around young players? Thank you.
I think it's a lot of fun to be, side by side with the next generation of American star in our locker room. And I think, especially having played both Sid and I for the national team for so long, there's like this sense of legacy that, you always have. Like, you always want that team to succeed. And I do think part of our responsibility is to pass the torch. So I think I was particularly excited when Alyssa became my teammate because she's such a talented player, and I think having that connection and relationship, it makes us all better on the field, but it's also just a joy to watch someone who has a lot of room for growth, and these relationships, I think, just really benefit her and bring us all it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree. I think the kids, we're going to call them kids because we're old.
Yeah.
I think they're good kids, and so it's really fun, just like Press said, just to like grow with them too, because we're learning things from them. So
They keep us young.
yeah, they do. They do. Yeah. They do.
Hi, Sid. Another game-winning goal for you. Kind of what was going through your mind, in that moment, putting it in the back of the net?
We talked about it before the game that we were so excited to play like proper minutes together. So it was really nice to be on the field back with Press. I'm so proud of her and like her recovery. I've seen like the last 2 years and it's been tough. So I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you. Sweet. Now about your goal.
Yes. Okay. We just had to bring it all together. I know exactly what Emma is going to do. she's going to drive and she's going to bully her way and she's going to put in a beautiful cross, and I have to be there. So I was there, and it was a good goal. I'm really proud of us for, 3 points.
Definitely. And then Sarah's kind of stepped up as captain this year, obviously with Allie dealing with her injury. How have you seen Sarah grow as a leader, in her first time in this role?
Yeah, I think she's a great leader. I think that it's really fun to see her grow where she was in the beginning of the season to now. She brings us a sense of calm, and I think we need that, especially when it gets chaotic. So, yeah.
Hello, my name is FIFA. I'm a Salvadorian artist from South Central LA. As you can see, it was Salvadorian Heritage Night today, right? We turned up. Y'all got the win for us, right? Yes. Now, I want to know, how can we carry this energy from now on to the finals? What is it going to take for us to carry this energy from now to the finals? Because I want to see y'all bring this ship to LA, man. I'm a Angelino myself, and I'm trying to turn up with y'all. I'm trying to get the champagne popping with y'all in the finals. Let's go crazy. Come on.
I mean, we're on a 2-game win streak, so we're just taking our momentum and energy. I think the team has extraordinary belief because of what they were all able to accomplish last season, going on a run and making the playoffs. And I think, you hear the rhetoric, and I think I'm very attuned to what makes a winning culture. And you hear the girls saying we'll do it again, just like last year, here it is. And that type of stuff manifests. So I think we have great energy. We got to keep getting results, grinding it out. Sometimes it's going to be pretty. Sometimes it's going to not be pretty. But you have to win in this league. Every single time you win, you go up in the table, and every single time you lose, you go down. So we just got to stay confident and get better in each game. And thank you for the support.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. If we count the penalty kick win as a win, that's 5 in a row, all competitions for this team. How did getting the break from league and going into another competition, in what ways were you guys able to reset? Because we're seeing a different team now, perhaps, than we did prior to that.
Well, I was just thinking, I think we did not get 5 games in a row. Okay, I was like, wait, I think we would have been saying that.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
There was the one.
There was the semifinal. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was the question? I was stuck on that.
Just the reset of this team was struggling to get points, struggling to get wins. They stopped the season. You go into the new competition, and all of a sudden we see this team kind of breaking out. In what ways did that enable you guys to do it, and what did you have to do to take that turn?
I actually think the summer is incredibly hard in the NWSL. And what you have is international tournaments, and the players that are just don't make it, their team doesn't qualify, or they're not representing their country, are left. And so it's really actually a grind, and it's a hard time of season. But I think our team actually didn't have as much of a deficit in the international break, and we spent a lot of time together, right? We also had players that were injured or had long-term lingering injuries that got to rest and take care of their bodies. I was obviously coming back. We got, Zell in the international transfer window. So I think that's actually it. And I think that just our team's ability to grind it out. And I actually think the leadership of this team thinks of every game as a final. And so it makes it really hard. It makes the season really, really long. So this team just showed a lot of character this summer, just grinding it out and going for it in, a new competition and in a friendly match. But really, I think all of the girls are quite clear that, it's all about winning in the playoffs, and all those experiences are just to get us here. And what counts, I think, to me, is that we came back with 2 strong results to open up the season: a rivalry win away, and then a home win to start this streak is really big time. Yeah, and a lot of momentum with the late goal.
This is for both of you. This is kind of the same script as last year. Was there carryover? And I know there are new players and everything, new personnel, but was there some carryover team-wide from being able to go on that hot streak last year, get in the playoffs, and kind of establish maybe yourselves as a second-half team?
You want to take it?
I think, this happened to us last year, right? We kind of struggled in the first half, and then we came out guns a-blazing for the second half of the season. And I hope that we can have a full season where we don't have to fight. But I think that we enjoy the pressure and we know that we have to win. And so I think every single player is giving everything they have. And yeah.
Christen, is there anything, having watched it from the sidelines for all this time, is there anything that you noticed that carries over from one season to the other?
Yeah, I think like in a mentality, right? Like in the idea that we have seen ourselves do it before. So then there's an internalized belief that we can do it. And I would always say the strength of this team since the very first game I played was the culture and togetherness of the players. And the girls fight for each other, like Sid said. And that gives you so much trust and confidence in your team when you're out there. Everyone's wanting the best for each other, and the group does stick together in a really big way. And I have always had gratitude for the fans for that, because when we put on an Angel City badge, we know who we're playing for, and we never forget it. And so I think for that reason, we're always able to dig and get that last little bit of energy that we need to get the win and to put our best performance out regardless.
Last question. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Last question, so hopefully it's a fun one. Obviously, Sid, today you got the game-winning goal, but your children were able to do the 3 claps. So what did that mean for both you as their mom and then for them as well?
Yeah, it's been a long day for me. Cassius had a game this morning at like 7:40, like an hour away. So it's been a day. Yeah, I've been up since 5:30, so I'm ready to go to bed. But it's always special to have the kids here. I mean, they were just at training with us yesterday, running around, and I love it. I mean, Rue thinks that everyone's here for her, so, you know.
And they are.
She's here to do autographs. But yeah, I love it. It's my favorite thing.
Aww.
Thank you. Congrats.
Are you going back out?
No. Are you?
I'm going to go see my family, because I didn't. This thing is wild. I know.
Oh, I need to breathe.
Take your time. Hey, Becki, first of all, give me your thoughts on, you brought on MA. I know she's been dealing with some sort of injuries, or I think an ankle or something, or how did you see her impact the game, and then she set up the winning goal there for Cindy?
Yeah, I think all of our subs were crazy impactful today. I think you saw a great example of depth off of the bench. I think this game was wild. I'm not really sure we have enough time to break the whole game down. But we knew we needed to get to halftime, because I think we knew we needed to regroup and make some changes and get the football piece of the game back. It became really scrappy, and once 17 minutes went up, it was kind of like a little crazy, like 20 minutes of not really a lot of football. But those are the moments that we have to learn to deal with. I think, again, I said it last week, I think this week, if we can ride those moments, these games become 2-3-0, they don't become 2-1, they don't become so close, and we don't have to leave it till the last minute, I think. But I have to credit all the subs that came on. I think they were all brilliant. They all impacted the game so positively. And Sid doing what Sid does, right? Like coming up with that game winner, and MA's service across the box is brilliant. We've been waiting for her to get back healthy and fit and ready, and kind of been like building her back in again. And I think you saw the MA that she is coming off the bench. So it's great.
Did you go in thinking with Friday's game in the back of your mind with your subs at all, or how did you sort of see the game sort of play out?
Yes, I think I always look ahead in a way that there is like some conscious thought behind some decisions, but I'd also always think about 3 points in the game that we're in now. I think that's really, really important. I think you could see from, even when we got to 80 minutes, like we weren't going to walk away from this game with a point, and it wasn't what we wanted to do. It wasn't what we set out to do. This was a game that we needed 3 points for. And I think, when you play 17 minutes, you get to 60-something minutes in the first half, and that's a lot of time for somebody that's putting in high work rate. I think, when I looked at Messiah's work level, and then I looked at Kennedy, like the game became less about football and more about that little edge. And I think we just needed some experience on the field for those moments to ride the storm when we needed to ride the storm. But I think second half we absolutely dominated. We dominated the ball. We created a couple of good opportunities. We knew where we were trying to hurt them. It was exactly how we scored, which was nice. And I think we created a couple more chances where we just missed on that final run or that back post run that we thought the ball would go across. But yeah, I think we have to take the 3 points as a huge victory. I think 2 back-to-back wins in the end of Bissau is always really hard. Like, this league is so competitive. To win 2 games in a row, momentum. I think We've spoke about this. The Summer Cup for us was just huge in terms of the alignment and getting us on the same page and the joy and the grit. Like, we had both of those things tonight. Like, Sarah is leaving the field with 2 black eyes and a bunch of stitches. Like, that is the grit, and that is the part of the game that makes these results so much more satisfying, because it was a grind today. See, tonight it's like 3 o'clock.
Hey, Becki. A little follow-up on what you were just saying there is going through that Summer Cup, in what ways did that change this team? How are you guys a different team than you were before you came in, and what was it about those moments that solidified or just made things more palatable?
I think being able to play with a little bit more freedom and joy without the pressure of, like, the NWSL is a place where you feel like there isn't much room for error because everybody beats everybody. So it comes with pressure. And I think the Summer Cup came with a little bit of, we set out the standard that we want to win it. But it was a case of, how do we get everybody in with us, not just 11, 12, 13 players. Like, how do we get 24, 26 players on board where they're getting minutes and training is such high level? I think it was really valuable for us to have players stay with us in the break, because it was an opportunity for us to grow. It wasn't a break for us. It was how do we go into the second half of the season and be the best version of Angel City that we can be? And we used the summer, and we worked hard. We worked really hard, like, credit to the players. They used the summer as a space where they got what they needed to get to work into the second half of the season.
Hey, Becki. So let's go back to first half and 17 minutes. Flashes as stoppage time. What?
I know. My mind was blown. But again, I think you don't realize in the game momentum how much it was stop-starty. I think we got off to the perfect start with the early goal, and then we scored again. And from that moment, I think Chicago decided to make it ugly. And that's okay. That's part of the game. And we struggled to deal with that. And then obviously injuries and VAR and stoppages. But those things all add up to minutes. And you have to play what's put out in front of you. I said it. I think these wins are the wins that create your character, and these are the wins that create your togetherness as a team, because everybody was needed today.
Hi, Coach, over here.
Hi.
Congratulations on the win. Last year, you came in and the club immediately went on a winning run to make those playoff spots. Feels like we're maybe at the start of a similar kind of run here. What do you feel like the team needs to do in these final games to replicate that and make the playoffs again?
Yeah, I think it's, like I said earlier, I think it takes everybody. Like, you can't win this league and games in this league with 11 players. You have to have people that are impactful off the bench. You have to have people that are impactful every single day in our environment, and set out to make this team the best version of themselves. And I think that that's something that we have to continue to take into the second half of the season. I think also what we have to be really mindful of is, like, one game doesn't make or break your season. You have to continue to get results, and when things don't go your way, you have to pick yourself up again really quickly and move forward. So I think it's just staying really focused on us. I think that's the most important part. You can look at the outside world, like, you don't look at the table, you just go game to game, and you pick up points through the next 8 games that we have left, I think.
Sort of expanding on that question, this is the same script as a year ago. Came on with a rush, got into the playoffs. Is there kind of an attitude building among this team and this organization that it doesn't, you want to play well the whole season, but you're never out of it?
Yeah, it's so cheesy, but it's a marathon, not a sprint. And I think that what's really important for this club is sustainability of success. We don't want to be like every game, like, we're just in it. We want to build an identity and a culture, and we want to be sustainable, and it takes time. It's not easy to set out to do those things in a new club. And I think actually we're further ahead than where we were last year in terms of dominating performances. Like, we still need to make sure that we close off games, but I think in terms of our football and where we are, we've grown in our style of play. I think we have an identity that's clear. And I think, we know what we have to improve on and keep fixing. But like I said, it truly is a marathon and not a sprint. And the teams that are in form at the end of the season are the teams that go on to win the championship.
One more, if anyone's got it.
Yeah.
We can do 2 more.
Yeah, you can do 2.
Okay.
Oh, my turn?
Yeah.
Okay, so hello, my name is FIFA. First off, thank you for winning for Salvadorian Heritage Night. Okay, thank you so much. It means the world to us. Now, second, I know there's pressure playing in LA. This is the city of champions, right? And the city is waiting on you guys to bring a trophy home. Now, is that pressure or motivation? And how do you transfer that to your team?
Yeah, I think that's part of being a sports team in LA. It's a privilege, and the community, the supporters, what we have as a community. Like, again, I have to stand in the national anthem and just look around and take in how special this is for women's sports, and it has to be a privilege. I think I mentioned it. Building championship teams and championship cultures doesn't take a year. It takes time, and this club wants to be sustainable, and I want nothing more, and the players want nothing more than to win championships. But it takes time and it takes building, and it's a privilege, not a pressure, and pressure is a privilege, right? So we'll continue to build. What I can promise you is this team and this staff will give everything they have for the city of LA and for the fans, and we absolutely appreciate every single person that comes out to our games and supports us from wherever they are.
Oh, me, last question. So obviously you spoke, and it takes all 26, 24, however many players you have. But can you talk a bit about your defense, particularly today, going against one of the most lethal strikers in the world right now, and Mallory Swanson, and how, for the most part, you all were able to keep that attack quiet?
Yeah, I think obviously we're aware of Mal, and she just had a world-class performance in a top tournament, and we know she's a world-class player. But this league is full of world-class players, and this team is up for any challenge. And I think we knew that a key to this game was to try to keep Mal as quiet as possible. She thrives in transition moments. She's great on the ball in space when you give her space, and those are things that we knew that we had to try and limit and take away. I think it's impossible to nullify, because she is a talent and she has got that world-class talent, but we also have world-class defenders that are able to step up the challenge no matter what forward you put in front of them.
And then I can go ahead and say there was one pool reporter question. The question was, in the 21st minute, Chicago goal was waved off for offsides. Is the ruling that Swanson taking the corner kick is offside when Grosso stops, sets the ball, and that Grosso is playing the ball by stopping and setting it?
Mm-hmm.
If not, what was the ruling on the offside? Answer from the referee: Chicago number 9 was in the offside position when Chicago 21 touches the ball, therefore offside was given. Very typical.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
They did not. The answer is there was an offside call. If anyone else missed that,
Yes,
during
she
the game,
definitely was.
there
I had to watch it 5 times because it was close. It was very close, but it was offside. It was close, but it was offside. So,
Awesome.
thank you.